Hi, friends. Welcome back to part 3, and it's our final portion of our conversation with Megan Campbell, the host of I Have Shit to Say. Megan is just so interesting and insightful and compassionate, and we are just really appreciative of her time today. So stick with us, and as always, keep those lights on. We had our friend Jennifer, who's a medical doctor on, and her son is a survivor of TBI, and she was telling us that she met a fellow who said that, after TBI, sometimes that people just sort of jump ahead to who they would have been further down the road. And I love a metaphor, and I've been thinking about that. It hit me hard, like in a really positive way. I was like, oh my gosh, because I used to go to the clubs back in the day, 30 years ago, right? Of course I did.
Listen, you could still never look one now.
Don't think I don't. We might go tonight. That's right. I saw a sign that said discount for seniors, and I think it meant seniors in college. But I was like, maybe they'd apply it to me.
But anyway.
So in thinking about this metaphor of just jumping ahead, right? And I don't look back at I can go to the clubs if I choose to now. I don't choose to. I'm in a different phase of my life now. Yeah. And so now the way I've been thinking about that is that his life was this book, and these chapters got ripped out. And when I got to that spot in the book and that spine was empty and those chapters were gone, I didn't look for the next chapters. I just searched and searched and searched for the missing chapters. And I was so stuck looking for those chapters and trying to rewrite those chapters that I didn't understand the rest of the story was there. And that has been really her saying that somehow made that very clear to me. And obviously everybody's metaphors are different. The way people process is different. But I feel like I was just so flipping mad.
Stuck of what was missing.
What was missing, but what was missing in this giant book was a small and important and a sad loss. But wait, the whole rest of the book is so pretty. I mean, this morning we got her crying.
Oh gosh.
Because my son, what he did this morning?
He made us breakfast.
He made breakfast for the 6 of us. Whipped up some biscuits and some scrambled. She's gonna cry right now.
I know, it was so sweet. Well, first of all, let's just start with, I met him in real time for the first time, and it was so precious. He comes out, he says good morning, gives me a big old hug. I was like, oh, it was precious.
It was very sweet.
It was just a sweet moment, when you finally meet this man that we've been talking about. And yeah, it was super sweet.
It comes full circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I would even
it doesn't take much.
add in with that metaphor, one of those chapters that are missing actually show up later in the story. So a lot of times when I work with trauma, and not always necessarily TBI, but sometimes that as well, is we talk about going back and healing our inner child or parts and pieces that we've missed. And as we grow up, we still have the capability to go back and do some of that stuff for ourselves. And so you also don't want to get stuck, because you might also be looking in the wrong place for those missing chapters.
Yeah.
Because they might not be gone. They might just be reordered.
Yeah. That's good.
She should do this professionally.
Oh my gosh, I
Sure.
Great. Now there's going to be a copay.
I do. Maybe one now makes enough money to buy my own M&Ms.
Maybe. I got you. I'll be your Patreon, your M&M Patreon. You're so good.
Oh,
These are jokes that people who listen to too many podcasts can say. It's me.
Correct.
All right. So we have a couple more questions. I know we've taken a lot of your time, for which we are very grateful. Especially the first 15 minutes. It was just tech support with senior citizens.
That was the best part of the podcast. Is people ask that, right? I love it. I mean, it's good stuff.
So, Megan, one of the things that we think about a lot when we're helping our kids develop relationships is how their self-esteem plays a role in it. And it's really important for Amanda and I both to give our kids a positive sense of self, but we also don't want to blow smoke. I don't want to be like, you know what you could do? You could start skydiving tomorrow, because that isn't realistic. So how do you build self-esteem while keeping expectations reasonable and not not focusing on the loss, obviously, of the things that you can't do? But do you have any suggestions for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the stuff we've already talked about, really noticing and appreciating and honoring efforts and goals and being clear about like where, well, first a little reality orientation of like, do they know where they want to go with skills? And does it feel realistic, right? Skydiving tomorrow, like you're saying as an example. You're kind of like, maybe not for a little while. But to recognize effort. And so I always love those statements of, I noticed you've been working harder on this, this, and this, or I am proud that you're able to pick yourself back up after this, or yesterday therapy looked really hard and you still showed up today. So it's really recognizing, again, that idea of process over product is actually what is going to build self-esteem and confidence long-term for people. And I think a lot of that we think about intrinsic or internal motivation versus external. So if they're only motivated by how people feel about them, if they're doing well, or if they're getting their gold stars and their accolades, that's going to be problematic long-term for relationships, because they're really going to look externally for all their validation. So if it's always about making you happy or doing what you want or what other people want, they've really lost their sense of self, which after a TBI could be really, really difficult as well, because I think they're like looking for somebody to give them what life is going to look like. And so over time, you kind of ease yourself out of giving them that like, I'm proud of you, you worked really hard, I'm so happy you were able to do this. You slowly work out of that praise into encouragement. I really just like, I appreciate how hard this is for you, and you're still showing up every day. All of that is going to start to build that resilience and that self-confidence. Mm-hmm. And then having conversations around like, what do you want to do long-term? Have you thought about it? And long-term could be like this month, the next 6 months. It doesn't have to be your 5-year, your 10-year, your 20-year plan. It could just kind of be like, what is the goal that you have set for yourself? And it could be in a variety of areas. And then recognizing effort towards that and grit, right? So that idea of, do I pick myself up after I fail, is going to build some of that, which is really hard because it means you have to also sit with them while they fail.
Yeah. That whole piece, that mind piece. Well, and as parents, if like I started running like 10 years ago and I wasn't good at it, but I had never been good at it. And so I got good at it. But in the beginning, I failed. In the beginning, I didn't hit my goals, and it didn't go well. And I built on that, but I didn't have to overcome a terrible setback for that. That was just like a new process. So now when there's a recovery going on, even if somebody's broken their leg, it doesn't have to be a TBI, but if somebody's trying to recover from something where they started in a huge deficit, that, it makes no sense what I'm saying out loud, except for it makes sense in my head.
The process is harder and maybe slower. I think the thing that is important to know is that change is not static. Like, it doesn't we don't grow and get better in a straight line. Mm-hmm. Even using your running metaphor, like, sure, you started with like, I'm healthy and I'm going to just start running. This isn't like I had a terrible fall, or I broke my shin, or I can't cross my midline. And so even the idea of running is really difficult. It's like, yes, there's a deficit. And what I would say is that's a barrier for them to work through in their process. And they're still going to need the same input of appreciation and support and notice around effort. We've been talking a lot recently about the spoon theory. I don't know if you've ever talked to your viewers about spoon theory. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's kind of this idea that we all wake up with a certain number of spoons. They use it a lot with neurodivergence and kind of autoimmune diseases, and really those like unseen disorders or diseases that people deal with, where like they might wake up with chronic pain that nobody can see, and they only have 2 spoons for their day. And they're with those 2 spoons, still need to shower, or take care of their child, or get to work. And they're like, then in a deficit, right? And so then they're just obliterated for the day. And so if you only have 2 spoons and you use 2 spoons, you did a great job. You used all of what you had, and you managed it and you budgeted. But let's say tomorrow you wake up and you have 10 spoons because maybe your back is feeling better. You used a spoon yesterday to go to the chiropractor, and so it's being like, okay, I have 10 spoons today. And how am I going to use that? And what maybe more effort in my day am I going to give? Or what kinds of things do I want to work on for this day? And so I think what you're even talking about, this idea of is deficit, is some days are going to be harder than others. And if we only focus on the product of like getting this done, hitting this goal, doing this thing, they're always going to feel like shit.
Yeah.
But if we're just like, you woke up today with 2 spoons, and you use both spoons, and you did this and this and this and this, you gave 100% effort today. Like, that's amazing. And I appreciate you doing that. And I know it was hard. And sometimes it's like, can I even get out of bed and shower? And that's realistic. And so if I get out of bed and I showered, kind of like you're going to need to bleep it, but fuck yeah. I give 100% today, and all I did was get out of bed and shower. But tomorrow I have 10 spoons, and I got out of bed, and I showered, and I made it to a doctor's appointment, and maybe I hung out with a friend, and maybe I did something else, and I used all 10 spoons. I also gave 100% today.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able, kind of circling back to recognize effort and understanding that effort is also related to the energy that people have, and recognizing and appreciating that is going to build that self-esteem and help them work through that deficit to still get to that goal. And kind of something we talked about earlier, as well as that idea of don't take somebody else's lesson from them, right? It's their lesson. It's their hill to choose to climb or to walk around. And that sucks. Because witnessing them fight through it, that's probably the hardest lesson you guys will have to learn.
Megan, I could just listen to you forever. I am writing all these little notes down, and you just have just so many, what I'm going to call little glimmers, little things that I just feel like are just such little great touch points that I feel like, oh yeah, that is just such a great, like the spoon theory. I love that. Like, I think we need to have like a whole little write up on our Facebook page about it. She's over here.
I have a therapist.
Yes.
Very good at spoon theory. Autumn, if Mackenzie wanted to have her on for you, she could talk way more about spoon theory for you. She's going to come on mine to talk about it, but
I love that.
She's taking so many notes that I put my paper and my pen down because she's acting as the house, the office secretary right now. And I appreciate that. I just I do appreciate her.
And I appreciate you.
I do all the things.
Thanks. We need to get you a pink sweatshirt so you can be cool like us. Send it with your
blood. I would be so honored.
I know we've got it. We're working on that.
Yeah.
We're at a retreat right now. We're in Maryland on a planning retreat for the nonprofit. Don't worry, none of your nonprofit dollars were spent on this. This was privately funded by us because we don't know how to take donations yet. So I feel good. But we're working on it.
You'll figure it out on your retreat.
Yeah, we will.
That's the plan.
It's happening. It has been truly such a delight to have you because you're hilarious, and such a honor to have you because you're smart, and such a gift to have you because it's hard to get. Time is precious. For you to share that with us is really appreciated.
I'm very honored. I have all the time to share with all the people.
Yes, well, it is appreciated, Megan. I just thought there were just so many little like, oh, that is so good. Oh, that is so good. Little tidbit. And
you guys are great for my ego.
Oh my God. Which one do you think is better?
For her ego?
Yeah.
Yin and yang. I needed both.
I know.
Okay. I have a little quote to close us out. Because we always do that. And she's a little resource. My quote is, you don't have to make your children into wonderful people. You just have to remind them that they are wonderful people. By William Martin.
And then our resource is going to be the Rise and Thrive Wellness website, and also Megan's podcast.
She's so unfair.
Say it.
She's got shit to say.
That's
There
going to
you
be
go.
my ringtone.
I do. I'll have to have you guys on for the podcast. I know we're filming Mackenzie next week as well. So
Are you? Well, we're going to have to be live because she has a great studio and that
I would
couch.
love it. They're making the M&Ms together on the couch.
It'll be fabulous.
We're going to need more donations.
More donations.
We'll work on
Any
it.
donation.
You're going to take the train from Oregon.
From Portland.
All right, friends, that is the end of our conversation with Megan Campbell, and we are so grateful for her time and insights. She's just amazing. Please visit her podcast, I Have Shit to Say. It is it's for grown-ups, but it's really, really great. And we appreciate the community that we're building together. Thank you, as always, for being here. And, of course, keep those lights on.